It is important for her to answer these questions to the satisfaction of the American public, and they can make their own judgment. I can tell you that this is not a situation in which America's national security was endangered.
That's President Obama weighing in on the Hillary Clinton email issue, saying he thinks his former Secretary of State made a mistake in using a private server, while also making it clear that national security was never at risk. Joining us now, Alan Colmes, the host of the Alan Colmes Show, nationally syndicated by Fox News Radio. Tammy Bruce is also with us, radio talk show host with TammyBruce.com and a Fox News contributor as well. Welcome to both of you. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Happy Italian Day.
That's right. It is.
There you go.
It is that as well. The parade's going to be rolling by our building shortly. All right. So I talked about this earlier with Brett Baer. The president says national security was never compromised. How does he know?
Well, see, that's what's interesting, unless he's seen every single email. What we do know is that there's at least 400 classified emails that did go out. We also now know that Sidney Blumenthal sent an email that revealed the name of a CIA asset in that system. And that was a CIA asset in Libya, of all places. So what we don't know is, did that have any repercussions? Who was seeing that? Was that pre or post September 11th, 2012? These are all kinds of things that are issues. This is, though, similar to when President Obama, I can tell Alan's agreeing with every single thing I'm saying. This is similar to him saying there wasn't a smidgen of corruption in the IRS situation. So he's obviously a partisan hack, but we already know that.
Alan, your response.
Nobody cares. I mean, they want to keep beating the drum about Hillary's emails from Nettle Kingdom Calm till after the election. The average person is more concerned about getting up in the morning, getting a job, going to work, living a better life. They don't care about Hillary Clinton's emails. And the president knows, as president of the United States, whether or not anything damaging has happened to the country as a result of whatever is in these emails.
But, you know, when asked about how they felt about her wisdom in setting up her email system, 71% said, you know, bad idea, don't approve.
It was a bad idea. It was a mistake. And the president's also correct, and I think she still has to answer some questions about her thinking about this. But ultimately, I don't believe this makes or breaks the election.
Well, she might disagree. She went down 10 points within a 10-day period of time. I think it was a Reuters poll that just came out. Americans are responding to something, and I believe it's that, but the overall dynamic that created that kind of situation. When you talk about national security, though, that entire Obama team is responsible. The world is on fire at this point. Whether it's Benghazi, Libya, the Middle East, Russia taking over the Middle East, Iraq cozying up to Russia, Turkey's under attack, NATO's getting involved, Ukraine is still being invaded.
Fault, right?
Well, you know, American strength has kept this kind of thing from happening for about 50 years.
This notion that Obama's weak is just ridiculous. It's balderdash. You have diplomatic an agreement with Iran about reducing their nuclear capability. Obama pointed out last night that Putin is desperate because of his economic implosion. His only ally in the area is Assad. He's trying to prop up. He's got some big problems. I mean,
well, you know what's already happened today? Oil is going up, and that helps tyrants.
That's Obama's fault too, right?
That is because Putin is in that region, and that helps Iran, it helps Russia, and it helps China.
You know that the price of oil has nothing to do with the president.
It has everything to do, when you think about the last 50 years of what's going on in the world, somehow this only started happening in the last 6.
But when oil goes down, I never hear him get kudos, by the way.
Let's get back to this question. The president suggested that the Benghazi committee is too political and that it's all about embarrassing Hillary Clinton. First of all, what's your take on that?
Well, obviously, it's the height of irony, isn't it? A committee looking at Hillary Clinton in a dynamic where they fabricated out of whole cloth the blaming of a YouTube video for what now we know was a planned terrorist attack by our enemy that resulted in the murder of 4 people. And Boehner resisted for, I think, over a year in creating this committee until we learned that the White House was also keeping emails secret about the issue and wouldn't release them. So when if they were really going to be going after Hillary, they could have done it quite some time ago, and they put it off. It
was because of the result of the work of this committee that we learned about the secret email server, the private email server.
Beside McCarthy admitting on Hannity's show that it was about Hillary, you have Major Bradley Podliska, who was on the staff, who was fired because he didn't want to do a partisan investigation. He's saying it was all partisan. They haven't had one meeting since January. They're timing this in order to hurt Hillary Clinton. They haven't met all year. Clearly this is partisan. That's now not even a matter of debate. It is a sham, this committee. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. They ought to disband it.
Let national security be a partisan issue. Some of us want national security, and some of us are destroying national security.
They are shamefully using the 4 dead bodies of those people in Benghazi to try to whack them over the head.
Talk about the tail wagging the dog. The tail wagging the dog here. Look, that major who was fired because he's a partisan for Hillary and was impeding the investigative process, which is what's already been stated.
Exactly the opposite. He was fired. He didn't want a partisan investigation.
Well, all right. Let's talk about somebody who's trying to help Hillary Clinton. That would be her husband, Bill Clinton. All of a sudden, he is headlining fundraisers. He's going on late-night TV shows. The guy who was president, is a splendid campaigner himself, seems to be coming out of the shadows to hold a more prominent role in his wife's campaign. Good thing or a bad thing, Alan?
Well, he's always a good thing. I mean, he's one of the most popular politicians in the country. And it's interesting, before he was coming out and talking about Hillary Clinton, they were going, where's Bill? Where's Bill? Oh, there must be something wrong with Bill. Nobody's seen. Now it's, she must be desperate. Now Bill's coming out. So whatever he does is somehow negative to the Clinton derangement syndrome people.
Very quickly, Tammy.
It's clear that she's said repeatedly she's not running for Bill Clinton's 3rd term. This is a statement, I think, a show that she can't handle what's happening, that they're desperate, and that this is, one of the things that they're having to reach for. And it's clear she's in trouble.
All right. We'll see what happens. Thank you both.
Thank you.